States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so the Suffolk County sewer thing is going to take about 2 seconds. We invited the county out, but they didn't come out. What the sewer could be, maybe that's something to do with that lawsuit, I don't know. But the county has grants available for the new septic system installations that will pay for part of the installation. It's going to be a combination of county grant. Bridgehampton National Bank has going to be offering 0% interest loans. And what the county is asking us to do is waive our permit fees for this. Other towns have waived the permit fees. Or other towns, they asked all the towns, so other towns have tentatively agreed to do it. I think the only fees that, I don't think we have any septic system fees. I think it's an electrical fee. I don't think it's even a plumbing fee, but it's definitely an electrical fee. So what I asked the county to do is they should give us a draft local law that the towns could adopt, like the solar code, where we have an expedited review process, and allow for the waiver of the fees. And their theory is that the fees should get waived because they're giving these grants. I don't know what the town board's position is on it.
I thought there was a memorandum of law from Anne Marie Parenti that said that we couldn't waive building permit fees or fees.
No, you would have to adopt a model law that would allow, the same thing we did with the solar, that would allow for these systems that, you wouldn't receive any fees. But we're not.
Yeah, it's really, if you're gonna change out a sanitary system, you're gonna apply to Suffolk County Department of Health Services, not to.
Well, no, these all have to have electrical system hookups now, so
Okay.
you're gonna need an electrical
Got it.
inspection. I don't know whether you need a plumbing inspection. I don't think our guys are even really thinking about that, because this is plumbing. It's in the ground, it's not just green pipe and a box.
This isn't going into effect this year, is it? It's next year?
They're making those grants available, I think, starting July 1st.
The grants, but I mean requiring, say, if I need to replace my septic
No,
system.
this is all voluntary at this point.
Okay, is it for
But
replacement or
eventually
only
it's-
new?
Eventually, it's not going to be, correct?
Eventually,
The only system
that's a
you're gonna be
big
able to
word.
put in.
New systems will have to be.
Right, but not
in-
replacements.
in-
Larry, can you turn the sound
watershed
down? It seems a
areas.
little loud.
I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be mandatory everywhere. It's at a certain point in
I don't
time.
think they've
And
made
I thought
that
it was 2018, but I
Well, it
could
was
be incorrect.
controversy on whether it was gonna be the old systems
Right.
changing or the new system only. So I don't, what
They
did
they have not made that decision.
They haven't made that
talked
decision.
about, Larry, can you turn the volume down? They've talked about making it mandatory on sale, which I think some of us have argued would crash the real estate market.
Yeah.
They've said that make it mandatory on new construction. I
Right.
think that's what you'll see, is they'll make it mandatory on new construction. And then I think they'll probably make it mandatory in certain areas that impact surface waters south of Peconic Bay Boulevard, places around different different wetlands, tidal areas. But they haven't done any of that
Now,
yet.
is this gonna
They haven't had the political courage to say when it's gonna be mandatory, so.
But supposedly they're gonna roll out the new legislation of Article 6 in January of 2018, which is when it will become mandatory, when restaurants and commercial projects will lose their density, that these systems will not give you additional density, they'll
I
allow you to
guess.
have the same thing,
I've
so.
not heard
know.
anything that they've made any decisions when they're gonna do it. All I hear is a lot of talking between legislators back and forth. It is going to be a very, depending on how they do it, it's gonna be a very unpopular decision.
Are
Yeah,
they gonna,
because I was talking to Chris Lubasich from the health department the other day, and he told me that you're gonna have to get them inspected annually also. And you have to hire a contractor to come and inspect them on an annual basis, and the contractors will be certified with the county.
well,
Yes.
these systems are very expensive
Yes.
to put in.
I think
That's
they're
why-
more
Which is why I wanted
that's
the
why
county
the-
to come
the
here.
grant, but the grants are not gonna cover
Right,
What's that?
only a small portion of it.
Correct.
And then you have to put the money in. Now, they were talking
And
when
I'm
they,
having
about
copies made
either
of
have
something else.
a single or a group. Are they gonna have both? Say 3 houses wanna,
I'm printing the, stuff.
do they have one system that'll handle the 3 houses, or is it single parcels?
My understanding is from the demonstration they put on here was single parcels.
All right, this
It would
is
be
the
individually.
only thing they're asking from us is to waive permit fees. So this is, Peter Scully just sent this over at 10:03. I regret that competing priorities will prevent the county staff from attending today's town board work sessions to discuss grant and loan program approved by the county legislature recently. As discussed, the county plans to begin accepting applications under the program July 1st, and we have asked local governments to assist in making the program simple and affordable to homeowners by agreeing to expedite any necessary reviews and waive any fees that may otherwise apply. In Riverhead's case, these would include electrical permits in cases where jurisdictional applies, wetlands. There may also be wetlands permits. Supervisor Walter suggested that the towns consider a model code similar to the one that was used for the installation of solar systems, which sounds like a great idea, but will not be accomplished in the short term. I forgot about CAC. Is there a fee for CAC? There must be a fee, so they would want us to waive that too. I've attached a copy of the waiver resolution adopted yesterday by the Babylon Town Board, a program narrative explaining the program. The Huntington Town Board will enact a similar resolution. We're hopeful that Riverhead will do so as well. I don't know that you can waive, if our permits are in the town code, it's not something we're supposed to do. That doesn't get done. So this is a resolution that, these are the Babylon resolutions, so.
It's just one, I made 5 copies.
Oh. So I guess the question is, do we want to go, I think we have to come up with a model law for this thing. I don't think it's something that's just going to be, because it is, I forgot about the CAC, it is also a CAC permit in certain areas that, if you're close to the water. Yep. So I guess the question is, do we want to do the waiver? And if we do, I think my opinion is that we set up an expedited review and we do something similar to the solar code. Barbara, is that what you're here to discuss? Why?
I was interested.
Yeah. You may be paying attention as much as the rest of us. Is there anything that I'm missing from what you, yeah. So I mean, so do we want to task the
You
town?
know, I can't see,
I don't think you can
us
do it.
not
by-
waiving the fees, because all we're gonna do is help, the environment and ecology by, letting them change to, the new system. And I think that's the most important thing.
All right, so if that's how the board feels, then we will talk, is that how you feel?
I don't like anything that asks us to give up money to, it bothers me, but if you weigh it for what it's worth, I have to agree with John that because it is environmentally friendly, it's something we're gonna have to do. It smells of those unfunded state mandates that the school district always has to deal with, to me. That's what it-
Fortunately, our fees are so low, we're not gonna be losing that much.
No, you're right, that's a good point too. You're right about that. But, yes, I would be on board with doing this.
I mean,
but
it's
just-
electrical and an expedited CAC permit.
Yeah.
All right, so Bob is not here,
I'll give them copies of that.
and
Back ones.
I don't think it can be done in a resolution. I think we probably
Have to do by local law.
have to do it by local law. Because if our fees are in the code, you're not supposed to waive them by
So
resolution.
you want him to do a resolution and go to public hearing on that?
On a local law for an expedited review. I mean, I think it's gonna be very similar to what we did with the solar. I'm just surprised that the county didn't come up with a model local law. That's the way Dave Cologne came up
Well,
with
when
the
we-
solar.
When we do have excess funds in the CPF, we could probably collect the permit fees from the CPF fund to pay the town for the permits.
You know, it's interesting.
Saying
that-
as it's a water quality project.
That's interesting with the CPF. We probably, I think I had this conversation, but I'm not sure. We probably don't have to use that special state legislation we got adopted last year to refinance the CPF. We have now 3 years of 3.5 million, just a hair under $3.5 million in revenue. If you budget flat budgeting at 3.5, which when we adopted this code, we had 1 year, so you couldn't do this. So if you use 3.5 and extrapolate it out, I think year 2022, the fund balance in CPF goes as low as $500,000, but it never goes to negative. So we probably don't have to refinance the CPF program. I think we're gonna be, by the skin of our teeth, get out, as long as it stays at 3.5. If we have
Right.
another recession and it dips below that before 2022, we would have to do the refinance. But right now, it looks like we are out of the woods.
Is there a time restraint on the refinance?
No, no, we did this, this is open-ended for us.
But
And then once you get to, I think it's 2022, Bill, you can ask Bill for the worksheet, he was here. Then it starts building rapidly after that, so, you know, we may not be out of business forever anyway. All right, so that was my 5 minutes, we'll talk to John. Mr. Elwood, are you bringing Mr. Elwood up?
I did.
Mr. Elwood,
because
come on up.
We had a meeting on Friday with the MTA to discuss the new train schedules that are being proposed. Their schedules are in front of you, and there's copies for the press if anybody wants any, as to what's existing now and what's being proposed, or anybody else that's interested, there's plenty of copies there.
Read a train schedule.
So they're getting ready to put these train schedules into production, and I think by the 1st of July, or the second week in July, they're looking to get the train schedules printed. And then they wanted to roll out the,
The understanding that I had when Sean from the railroad, sorry, his name is skipping me, Steve Allenhouse,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He indicated that the weekday changes would probably be now like November.
November.
And that the
Weekend.
summer improvements would be next summer, starting in May.
May of 2018.
Okay, not this summer.
So
Not
the
this
weekday
summer.
schedule will change come this November, right after pumpkin picking season, which was a point that I brought up. And then the weekend schedules will be changed by May of 2018.
So what are the changes?
So you can take a look at,
I guess you want to look at option 2?
you want to look at option 2, because that's where
Page
they're
5.
going. That's what they're looking to adopt.
Okay,
It's service option number 2.
Yes.
And that's going to
Page
start.
5.
This is good for us, right?
Yes.
Yes, I got together because I was, I've been the Riverhead board member of Five Town Rural Transit for a number of years, and I got together with the Southhold Transit because there was a couple of different issues that they were like looking at, and they had some good ideas, but there were some that were a little, I said, well, we got to get together because it's going to affect both towns. So what we came up with something that I think is very solid for, what we suggested to the railroad is something that was very solid to get, not only something that improves for people coming out here, since we're becoming such a destination now with people on the weekends and the volume of people and the traffic and everything. But we also wanted something that gave some of the people who lived here. We need people who live on the North Fork and Riverhead to be able to have access to the railroad. One of the things a big thing change that we wanted was to have a train that could, if you wanted to go into the city in the afternoon for something, you didn't have to get up in the early hours in the morning, but to get around noontime, and then you could go to something, whether it be doctor's appointments, if you had a practice where you were a consultant, if you wanted to go to a Broadway show or something, and you could still come back in the evening. This way would be, so that would be very useful. So they developed a train. That was part of the repositioning the jury train. The jury train, oddly enough, still sort of in a way is still there, but it's not in the way it was. It's earlier than it used to be, and the reason is to get that out to Greenport so that it can now come back and be this mid-morning train back.
Nobody really rode the jury train.
Not too many, no. And but so it's still going to be an early train, and and eventually, like right now, there's no connection to it. But that was one of the things we had to get in order to get this westbound train, which we felt was more important.
Is that
now
the one
when
that's leaving at
7:30 out of Ronkonkoma. But when they get the double track into Ronkonkoma, which they hope to be in about 2 years, there will be a connection for that because they'll be able to run more reverse commute service out from the city. So there will be an early.
So the top box is when it's leaving New York?
The top box, yes,
And
that's the eastbound.
that's when it will arrive in Riverhead?
Yeah, it
With
arrives.
Riverhead,
yeah.
and then the bottom box is when it will leave Riverhead and head
westbound,
back into
right.
the
Mhm.
westbound.
the problem with the jury train is that you'll get out here at 8:14, which is great.
Mhm.
But then the person has to wait till 3:21 to go back.
Well,
If he
hopefully
gets
they'll
out
come
at
downtown.
noon, he has
Right.
3 hours to wait, where right now we have one that leaves at 1.
No,
Well,
but
it's
the thing
worse
is-
than that, because
Worse
if
than
you
that,
get
you go
picked for a
past
jury,
321
you've
for
got
the
nothing.
jury.
Yeah.
You're not getting back
Yeah,
home.
But you can't get
that
in now
was-
either because now it's 3:58 is the only, that, one of the problems with the jury train, they said, I don't know if maybe it worked for first day jurors, but once you got onto a trial, you could be up until 4:30,
Right.
4 or 5 o'clock, there was no way to get back.
Right, yes.
And that's why it basically it really was not working.
Right.
And so therefore, that way, it really didn't matter. So they felt that it was better to sort of combine some of these trains in a way so that now we have this sort of afternoon train. But, the purpose of the jury train really didn't really work out.
I did bring that up at the meeting on Friday and said that, it's not really helping the jurors to get out here, and they said the ridership was very low, and their focus now is tourism on the East End. So they want to make sure, and for residents to be
Yeah.
able to use the train to get to Ronkonkoma, to get a connecting flight to go into the city for the day, or vice versa, get back out on the island. So that's their primary focus right now, is the East End tourism and transportation on the East End for residents, not so much the jury train.
Okay.
So that's what
All
this
right.
schedule is focused towards.
So you just want this basically for
Well, this is the weekday.
visiting people to the East End?
Visiting people and
Not
people
to-
who live
not-
here.
Not to
right.
the court system?
No, because apparently that did not.
Well, I
Okay.
can see it working on Monday, because
Mhm.
everybody has to come here on Monday. And then they get picked to where they're going.
Mhm.
And usually they're out of here by 12 o'clock on Monday. And then Tuesday, you may only have a small portion coming here for trials.
But I think they found that there weren't that many people on
Yeah.
jury using that 121
No.
train. So,
Okay.
They still have the 634 out of Yap Bank.
Oh, yes. That was one of the things we had.
Yeah,
Well, they
that
always
stays
said
the same.
you never
Chaminade
touch
train.
That
commuter
stays the same.
hours. They've learned that for a long time. And not only that, but you have commuters, even though you may not have a lot of commuters, there are people who depend on that.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
train is very versatile because it gives you connections to both a direct Atlantic terminal train with local connect train stops, all the way along. Plus, or you wait 5 minutes to take an express to New York. So that's a very good, connection.
And a couple of weeks ago, I attended the East End Transportation Council at the Culinary Arts Institute with Mr. Elwood, and brought up the bike share idea for the East End and for Suffolk County, where all the towns are going to be looking at maps, trying to figure out where they could accommodate parking for these bike share docks, so that if you were to drive your car there, then you could get a bike, go ride around town. There would be connections, you could go to other towns. So that was a couple of weeks ago. And then last week, Bridget Fleming, Legislator Fleming, had a transportation committee meeting at the county legislator office here, which Jim and I also attended. And the county is going to be putting out an RFI for this bike share program, hopefully within the next few weeks. So what they will be doing is soliciting bike share companies and determining which is the best bike share company that would be good for Suffolk County, so that all the townships could pull off that contract. Because when Nick Palumbo from Suffolk Community College had presented it to the Alternative Transportation Committee, the bike share idea, he was looking for the college specifically, and then decided to come and go to all the townships. So we're looking for letters of support to the county for the bike share program, and also to consider thinking about that in the future, that people could take a train into Riverhead. If we had a dock there where you could, stick your card in, and for $1 a day, you can ride around Riverhead on a bicycle and go see everything, that it's really kind of neat. So I want you to think about that, because I'm going to be probably putting up a resolution supporting the idea of the bike share program.
Okay.
Now, we think should go to page 8 though, because now those are the weekend service.
What is service, before we go, that was page 4, service option
Option
1. That
one.
wasn't?
That was rejected.
That was written, and the reason I think they rejected that was, I'm trying to find where that is.
Page 4.
Because there was a 12-hour gap in service going out, like with Greenport. And so, it's sort of a way it would have benefited Riverhead, but it would have totally expensed the North Fork. They would had nothing in between. And the problem of the Long Island Railroad right now is they have a very serious lack of diesel equipment. They don't allocate more than one train. If they had more trains available, I think it might be easier for them to do. It'd be nice if they had something that maybe ran in between, maybe for Riverhead, and then something went out. But they don't have the equipment. They have all they can do to get the equipment on Friday evenings between all the trains that go to the Hamptons, with the influx of people who come out there. Plus on this branch as well, because our ridership swells significantly on the weekend. And they can do, they're literally stealing cars from other train branches just to keep the trains they have. So
Now-
until the day comes when they go and get more equipment, and I wish they would really deal with that problem, because I think they're trying to find solutions to it, but so far they have not been able to do it. I think this is why, you're kind of limited to what you have to do, so you sort of have to try to do the best for everybody, and this way was a fuller schedule. And as I say, they were very lacking out east, and,
They still don't have a system to tell you where people are coming from. Like from Concord. When you buy a ticket on Concord,
Mhm.
they don't know if you're coming from the East End or Islip or where you're coming from to buy your ticket. I still think a lot of people go to Concord from the East End to get the train, but there's no way to
Show how
them to
many people.
figure it up and
use that.
count.
if you
I
want.
think that would be easier for you guys to, when you negotiate, and say, look, these are how many people we got from the East End coming, whether it be from Greenport, South Hold, or Riverhead. So I don't know why you don't push
Well,
that.
the mail-in ride program, I always had the mail-in ride. In fact, I still do, but I just do it locally now. But for years, I was commuted on the railroad for like 30 years. And and if you went to the mail-in ride, all you have to do is the zip code of where all these people
Yes.
get.
Right.
They could find that out very easily. I think
They don't wanna know.
They know very well that many of the people at Ronkonkoma come from everywhere else.
Right, but
From all over
you
the
go
place.
into a store and buy something in a retail store, they know where you come from.
If you use your
There's
credit
a-
card.
Right.
Yeah, well, if you use your credit card, yeah.
Right.
So I think they know also. I think that they're money constraints, just like everybody else. And we emphasize the importance of more cars, especially on the weekend schedules, because they're leaving 100 people on the platform when the
That
last
happened
train
a
leaves
few
for the
times.
day.
Mm.
So we've emphasized the importance of the railroad meeting with Suffolk County Bus Service to make sure that there's a bus or Hampton Jitney on hand. Jeff Lynch was also at the legislative meeting this past Wednesday, who told me that he has bought North Fork Trolley. So he's looking to do trolley service through Riverhead, where it would drive by the aquarium, drive by the train station, go out on the North Fork. So a lot of good things are happening with transportation to move people around, and it's a work in progress. So as the need arises, then the demand will have to be met. And so that's what we're hoping, is that ridership increases so that we can get more trains and buses out here on the East End.
All right, so weekend, what is
Yeah,
that?
the weekend on page 8 is, and that's very good, because
The
that's.
service option one was not done?
That was not as good,
Nope.
because that was a weird thing. It had
I
a
just-
Yapang train that was like.
I just
it was
would reject it.
So what they basically did is, they gave us 4 round trips now instead of the 2 that we currently have. And the idea is 2 of these trains, the one that comes out early in the morning, goes back, and it leaves Greenport at 7:11 or 7:50 out of Riverhead, would run for 7 months, would run from beginning of May through the end of November. And the same would be true on the last train coming out in the evening and going back at 9:11 out of Greenport.
I just hope people use this, because now,
Yeah.
we gotta get the word out,
Yeah.
because,
I think they
We've
will.
asked
definitely
for
gonna
it,
do
now
that.
we've got to make
Right.
sure it,
right,
And the 2 middle ones would be year-round. But it's interesting to note, like I pointed out to Jody, this gives people the option of actually going into the city from out here
Yep.
on Saturday and Sunday. We haven't had that option in
Right.
decades.
It's
Right.
2 hours to get into the train, into the city. So it takes you longer to drive, and
You know,
it's
and
less
so as I say,
aggravation
yeah.
and.
And the other thing was too, is that with this last train out of Greenport, the idea was with all the tourists and everything, people maybe would be able, if they didn't want to go back early, they could go to the vineyards and go down into Greenport and dine in the evening and come back. And the same thing on Sunday evenings when people, let's say, last chance to get back to the city from out here spending. So that
your
definitely
last
isn't.
chance out of Greenport to get back to the city is 9/11. That's
Yeah,
good.
Right.
yeah.
And was there a 9/11 before?
No.
No.
The last train now is 6:11. So in between.
You leave
had
at
to-
6:11 on Sunday from Greenport, you're still not gonna be in the city by 9/11.
So, yeah. So as I say, so this is a very robust change, because it really gives people options, both people locally and for people coming out, which was the big thing. And that's one of the major concerns with the traffic problem, the way it's been getting on the fall, especially on the fall weekends.
Well, Mr. Elwood, thank you very much. I know you attended
Yes.
all of those, if not all of those meetings on the town's behalf, because you are a resident expert,
appreciate it.
even though you're not a resident.
Yeah.
You, Greenport.
Oh, I am, no,
He is a
Riverhead.
resident.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yes.
He lives on
I
Fisher
thought
Avenue
you lived-
Extension.
I thought you lived in Greenport.
No, Fisher Avenue Extension.
Born in Greenport, but no,
Well,
it's.
maybe that's why the conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you
But
very much.
The other thing is, though, that I think you had to mention, though, that the railroad is having another meeting with the elected representatives on July
Yes.
7th. And I
Yep.
think what they're looking for is some sort of a census resolution from the towns. Yeah, basically, they want to say, you approve this, go for it. And then I think they want that.
You're on the Transportation Committee. Are you on also the Cleanup Committee? I was speaking to an MTA member last week,
Mhm.
and he said the trains that are up here, they look awful, right?
You mean
I
the
with
things that they're
the
bringing
parked
up?
up there.
That's
And
the
he said
railroad
that they were
museum.
supposed to be moving those trains.
Yeah, that's not the MTA. That's not Long Island Railroad. That's
Those
the
were
Railroad
donated.
Museum owns those.
All those trains?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed there's a couple more coming. They seem
Yeah,
like every
yeah,
time I go up
they're
there, there's
all over
one-
the place
this
up
is
there now. It
old-
looks like a junkyard.
I don't know what the purpose of, I'm not really sure
Some
what the
people's
purpose
junk
of.
are other people's treasures.
I mean, if they were doing it for
Well, you got
educational
people
purposes.
coming in
but-
on a train, and that's the first thing they see when they get off, when they is sitting on the train, all
Probably not
these.
the first thing they see on Railroad Avenue.
Huh?
Hopefully they see a police officer. Have
Right.
you been taking the train at all? Because
Oh, yeah.
we do have standing orders for the police department. Trains come in that if there's an officer available, there's somebody sitting in the parking
Yes.
lot. Have you seen that?
You know, they used to, a few years ago, I saw it all the time. Can't say, I guess probably in the parking lot, yeah.
In the
not-
parking lot.
Used to be they were standing up near the platform, so
Yeah.
probably don't
Yeah.
notice. But if they're in, yeah,
Well, I think if they
I'll
don't,
look for
if there's
that,
no
but-
call,
yeah,
Yes, sir.
they'll be
Barbara saw
there.
it.
If there's a call, they may not be able to be there.
right.
So, I mean,
I
But
did see
I-
one
yeah.
walking on the platform a
But I
couple weeks
agree,
ago.
it was great when you saw a police officer when a train was coming in or a train was leaving. It gave a sense of security for the people that were coming in or leaving. So that was Sean's, idea a few years back, and I think it's better to have them on the train side than in the parking lot.
And that we believe that the ambulance will be taking over
Hope so.
the
I'd love to see that
building.
happen.
So that's
Yeah,
going to
that-
change
that
the
should be shortly.
character
Yes.
and the vagrancy over there significantly.
Yeah.
That'd be a big help.
we're trying to move the bus stop. We're gonna move those benches in front, so people have no place to sit in front of the train.
Right.
And we're putting fences up.
Okay.
So,
That's a good idea.
So, I would like to put up a resolution, a sense resolution to
Adopt this?
say that the town approves these train schedules
It's fine.
for.
Absolutely
next town
support it,
meeting.
yes.
yeah, well, it's better than nothing, yeah.
Yeah,
Draft it up.
much
It's
better
not
than what we
changing,
have.
so.
Right.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Elwood.
you. Okay, okay.
All right, Riverview Lofts. Jeff, Karen, Chick. Lysandra, would you like to come up? Whoever your team is, Chick.
Good morning.
To
Morning.
step away
Good
from the
morning,
table
Karen.
so I don't get accused of
And good
accusing
morning.
myself.
Why?
or,
You don't have any conflicts.
I don't believe I have any conflicts either, but I've been
Come on up.
told by the press and told by
You
people
got
that
chair over there,
I
too.
don't want it for reasons that are not true.
You need one more
for
chair.
other
Okay.
reasons.
Right over there is the chair.
So I'm gonna step away.
All right.
Oh, Julie's gonna step away.
So,
No, come on up. What you do is go out, walk around and come in this door.
Hey, Connie.
Okay, that's the easiest way to do it.
Sinuses.
That's the easiest way.
all right, so what are we here to discuss?
We're here to discuss the voluntary environmental impact statement that
Well
we
done.
received.
Well done?
We are in the process of our final review. We will have a resolution for the board to adopt it for adequacy and circulation for the 20th.
Good.
So if you have any questions
you have
for us.
questions?
And simultaneous to that, Karen is doing site plan review while I'm doing.
So you're gonna give us a
We're
synopsis.
coordinating these two efforts.
I've reviewed what I received. I would need a revised plan to review before I could do anything more.
Where's the, where are you with the revised plans then?
Well, we've got Galley Engineering working on the engineering plans. We did meet a couple of weeks ago, and I know they're following up with Water District and making sure everything is good with drainage. So they had some preliminary comments, and I know that they're expecting to get plans in really soon.
Yeah, we just worked with the sewer department, and we're actually trying to get a hold of the highway department. I'm actually gonna stop and attempt to,
He's right there.
Yeah,
where is he?
right there.
Oh,
Gio, they have a highway question
Gio.
for you. They have a highway question for you.
Gio, I sent you an email. The engineer, Warren, would like very much to just have a phone conversation. There's some issues that he wants to address before he does the final.
Yeah, I just got back into town.
Oh, okay, I figured.
Tuesday, so.
Okay.
I said, no, so I'll give him a call.
So if you give him a call, or let me know, and I'll have him call you, whatever.
Yeah, I'll give him a call maybe today or tomorrow.
Great, appreciate it, Gio. Thanks.
Good. See, we resolved that.
Oh, good.
So you're gonna give us a memo?
No, you're expecting a resolution also on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay,
A secret resolution.
secret resolution,
Secret
right, right,
resolution.
that's what I meant.
So that we can circulate this and coordinate review with the rest of the agencies.
And then you're gonna let us know when you're done with the review, what
Oh, I'll
the-
be done before that. I should be done probably this afternoon.
Good, so let us know by email if there's any issues, so.
Well, I believe any comments would probably be best addressed during the final
Mhm.
EIS and.
No, we just wanna know that it's sufficient to adopt the resolution on
Right,
Tuesday.
yeah.
And then the next step in that will be a determination of significance, which is right on a schedule that we have prepared with the applicants, and then we're off to the races.
Sounds excitingly
Public
technical.
hearing on the first meeting in August with site plan and special
Karen, you got your work cut out for you. Chick, you gotta get that plan in. All right, does anybody
Will do.
have any questions? No? All right, then that was quick. I
was
figured there'd be
quick.
questions.
Just a
Thank you.
briefing.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Took longer to do
Moving
the train
along
schedule
smoothly.
than
Right?
the.
Thank you.
Thank you,
it
guys.
easy.
Thank you,
All right,
Sean.
you're
Take
welcome.
it easy.
Yep, take
I have
care.
to-
Be well.
Again, we got you here, but, you've been very quiet.
I like it, I like it when I have to be.
That's it. See?
Say hi to Ally.
Have a nice day.
Probably Joe and I will try and do it today for you. Pretty straightforward.
That's perfect.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
That didn't sound good.
No, it's just my volume.
Yeah.
There's a volume on that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, when what?
Really?
What?
I mean, I know there is, but.
It's there somewhere.
So Denise, I guess I should wear my glasses before I read things and jump to conclusions, huh?
Apparently. We all should, I think, yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm good at jumping to conclusions. I'm a lawyer. I think they train us to that.
I don't know what she wants.
Jody? I don't know. Maybe it's
This
just.
way. Left.
Okay, that's nice. Why did it turn off? Let's see if we pop it back on.
Oh, you're done.
I know.
First two resolution of highway resolutions of Geo's.
Yep, come,
There's access.
come on up, Gio and Bill.
But we're not,
There we go, look at that.
Jody, there she is.
Of course,
Morning.
they didn't download. I have them, but they didn't download.
Do you
All
want my
right.
paper copies?
No, I have them. I just, when they don't download, I can't get the
Bill, how
little
do I-
side thing to go off.
it says access to the internet, but it won't come up.
I do have one paper pack, if anybody
Oh,
wants.
you do?
Sean, if you wanna look
Yeah.
at this one.
Yeah,
I hate these things.
Just,
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work.
Oh, John, you just dropped one.
wow, did we download a bunch
Try
of them?
that.
John,
Oh, no, I downloaded 3 sets.
John, you want us?
Oh, one of my sets.
No, she's gonna do it.
Bill is here, I don't, what's your?
That's what happens when you shake on the, shake on the screen.
I was gonna say, you said something.
And I don't dare,
Take that
Screen
one.
is very sensitive.
I don't dare delete any of these 3 because I might need
You
them.
can change the sensitivity setting of the screen.
Can you?
Yes.
All right, so there's 3 or 4. This is the Highway Department fund balance. And I want the board to have a conversation about this. We've talked about this, I think you and I have talked about this, you and Bill have talked about this. So there's 3 things that we're here to look at. And Bill, I'm gonna let you talk about the ramifications of this, but they're looking to draw down the Highway Department $1.6 million out of fund balance this year, and I'm really, really, really reticent to do that. We have to go to Moody's to get re-rated in probably November, December. Yes, but we got re-rated, but we weren't selling the bonds. When we were selling the bonds, all that crossed, so when we go to sell the bonds early next year, they'll re-rate us again because we're selling the bonds. And we do talk about pay-as-you-go. We do talk about putting money in fund balance to pay for things. They take notice when we draw down huge fund balances, and we've been very successful in convincing them, not convincing them, but this was the way we've set up set ourselves up for pay-as-you-go.
Okay.
So talk about, I mean, Bill, you have two of them that you have, and then Gio, talk about the ones that you want. I think the board has to make a decision whether we're going to draw down $1.6 million this year, because that's a significant hit that I don't want to have
Okay, so-
explain too much.
So the fund balance at the end of 2016, minus two drawdowns that we must do. One of them is for the highway barn.
What was the fund balance?
The fund balance was 3.3 million. I'm
Right.
taking another 1,965,000 out. I have a spreadsheet I will forward to
So
you.
we-
Yeah,
back
I
down
have this
to-
right here. If you want to look at this.
It'll be back down to 2 million.
What's that?
We'll be down to 2
It'll be
then.
down to 2,370,000,
Right.
and that's taking out 690 for the highway barn, and then there's a piece of property that we had purchased for a road a while back that we're gonna need $275,000 for that.
That's Pulaski Street?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just,
Question on that. Why is that being done now? And I'd like, before we do that, because I thought we had a discussion on making sure I get what I need before we start paying anybody off for this.
we can't, because this has been in litigation for 10 years,
It's
and
a
the litigation is
condemnation
finally
proceeding.
condemnation, and the litigation has basically, we've agreed to settle it on $275,000 because it's a,
Is that supposed to come out of highway?
yeah, it comes out of highway now. The
Because
Sophie
the
Wilson
original payment
bonds.
came out of highway also.
The bond,
Ever
yeah.
since you've been highway super, you were here when this condemnation went forward and it started coming out of
Well,
your
I
budget.
wasn't in charge, because it might have been a different.
No,
item.
you
I
were,
just-
it was 2009.
It happened if we, yes, no, I'm gonna say
Six.
2000,
Before that,
no, I was here, so it had to be 7 or 8.
probably 7.
Yeah.
I wasn't in office.
I can go back and look at the date, but regardless, that was a highway cost, okay? It was charged, the bond itself, the original bond was charged to highway. We do not have the authority to go back and use that bond again. We've actually closed it out, so we have to take it out of operations. You can't go back and do another bond authorization for something that's already been spent, okay?
It was the rerouting of Pulaski Street, rerouting of a town road, which is
Right.
Pulaski Street. So
Correct.
that's
Right.
when it comes out to Route 58 in front of that shopping
Just
center.
wanted to know why it took so long and why we do.
The other lawyer delayed.
Condemnation proceedings can take up to 10 years.
No, the other lawyer delayed and delayed and delayed, so that's
Yeah.
fund balance now, that's what we have
Yeah,
to take
we have to
out
take that out.
this year.
Yep,
And now,
they'll bring
They
it
can
down to
take
here.
up to 10 years.
right, and Gio is asking for another $600,000 to take out?
Pretty much.
It was-
Well, I'm just showing you the
money
same
was
thing here. I didn't
allocated
print copies of it
last year,
because I didn't,
year before last for the building.
It wasn't allocated.
It had to be. We've been working on a building for 3 years.
The money's coming out of fund balance.
Yes, there's no funds have been taken out yet, so, I'm not sure where we stand in the process right now, but we took it out of
Oh.
fund balance, but it's gone back in because we haven't,
So that has to come out of fund balance too?
It has to come out
Yes.
very soon, because the contract is starting
Right.
very soon. So like Tuesday, we need a resolution to take this out of fund balance, because we've
this
already
for the
signed the
building?
contract for the
For
building.
the building, yes.
Okay, just to let you know, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, the money, I saved money at the highway department. The building shouldn't even come out of highway department, it should be coming out of general, if I'm not mistaken. But being that we don't have any money and I need a building to get all my stuff in, just so you guys know that, if you didn't know that. The money for the building should be coming out of
If
general.
it were as
fund.
administrative offices, I would agree with you, but if it's just
No,
our highway
it's
equipment,
law, money should be coming out of your general fund.
Because
then you
it's
wouldn't
town
have the
asset.
building.
Right.
then you wouldn't have the building.
That's why I'm doing this now, out of my budget, to have a building, because we never would have one.
So
if
you're
I
telling
waited
us
for
you're
you guys.
lending us the money?
No, it's not lending.
I may get it back later, but the point is, I'm trying to do right by here and keep our highway department
Okay.
up. And I just wanted you to know that the money should come out of general fund.
I don't know that that's true, but that, you're right, you
It's
wouldn't
true.
have it. You
It's
would
true.
not have the building.
Correct.
So what you're saying is that you want us to take this out of general fund now?
No, I'm just
Well,
letting
you're
you
gonna
know.
pay for it now, and then we're
I'm letting you
gonna,
know, and you
we're
don't
gonna
have to
pay
pay
you
it back.
Yeah.
You don't have to
No.
pay it back. I'm just
No.
letting you know what I'm doing.
He's doing a favor by doing it out of his budget as opposed
needs
to
it.
I
coming
don't
to
think
the
that's
town,
really accurate.
knowing that the town doesn't have the money to do it anyway.
Correct.
Okay. So
But
you
it's a
get,
capital improvement,
And
so
your,
if the
and
highway
all your,
barn
all
moves,
your
it's still a
equipment by
town
state
asset.
law, according to what I understand, on the class that I go, should be housed in a building, all your highway equipment. So, I'm doing this out of saving tight on my budget, saved up the money, for the building, for equipment, basically, because we're also paying off the bond, so I have basically very little money in equipment, line. So this is where I get my equipment by being tight on the budget.
Well, I think the only problem that we have right now is that we had that Sophie Wilson award that got settled. And so, I mean, my question, to pull, we have no choice but to pull the $1 million out. To pull another $500,000 out, or what's that,
130,
450,
and what's the other one?
319?
Okay.
So another 450 out. That's a, you still will have 25% fund balance, but that's a significant amount to pull out this year. And my request is that we do the equipment budgets January 1st of next year.
So just so I understand, the
Yeah,
highway
that's what it is
department's
right now, but
keeping
we
the
take out
the
the
Moody's
schools,
rating
that
up?
brings us to
No,
here.
the
But he
town
wants
gets
to take
rated,
another
the entire town
450,000,
gets rated,
which would
and
bring us just
the
under
entire town,
25.
all the fund balances, all the lines have to,
It's 50.
all the budgets have to be balanced. So they don't rate the highway department, they don't rate the town general fund, they rate the town as one unit. So every single fund, every single line in the town is balanced, and every single fund is now adding to fund balance. One of the things that they dinged us for a couple of years ago was we were pulling significant amounts out of fund balance, both for the general fund and the CPF. We were pulling money out of the highway department to buy your equipment.
There's like 3
Moody's
uniforms.
never likes you to take money out of fund balance. Moody's position is just tax and tax and add to fund balance, add to fund balance, add to fund balance. We've convinced them that we're on a pay-as-you-go, so we put money in fund balance, and then when we need something, we take it out, and then we put money back in fund balance, which is what we've been doing with you. That wasn't the case back in 2009. You guys used to bond to pave your roads. We don't have to do that. The ambulance, we do the same thing. Street lighting, we do the same thing. Sewer, we try to do the same thing. Water, we're doing the same thing. So we have to be, all I'm saying, Joe, is we have to be careful in the amount we take out in one shot. And I'm hesitant to take out $1.45 million.
Well, wouldn't that leave us at 1.9 still left in fund balance still?
Yes, it would leave us roughly at 1.9, which would be a little bit more than 25%. 1.8 would be 25%.
Well, I need equipment. My mowers are old, we're putting more money into them. Another reason is we're getting a smaller mower, so you notice we got a lot of sod farms around. They won't let us on the sod farms with the tractors we have now. They're too heavy. So now we're doing everything by hand. I mean, all the sod farms around there. So leaf pickup, getting trucks ready, doing snow fence. Something's not gonna get done sooner or later.
Why do you need a mower for the
But
sod
if he's
farm?
buying
I don't-
equipment, doesn't
For
that
the
increase
edges.
our assets?
The mower
where
actually has
Moody's
a,
would look at it
you
that
hook
way?
a,
No, because it's not cash.
pounder
It's
to that,
You can't pay
depreciable?
bills with it, right?
which
You can't
pounds
pay
the
bills.
post. Right now, we're doing it by hand.
yeah, you do it by hand.
Probably 2,500 feet of
Appreciates.
posts by hand.
Appreciates.
Yeah, but you
Is there any of this, I mean, a mower, is there something you can pull out of your money that you have this year?
Our AUDs is
Um,
modified accrual, which is what we
Well,
have to
we
spend.
lost a trailer, so we were trying to do the lease, which would be $50,000 a year, which leaves me roughly about $52,000. But one of our trailers broke down the other day. Nobody got hurt. and the stuff's getting old, and you gotta replace it. you know?
I agree with you.
I mean-
My whole premise, I don't have a problem, for me, January 1st, so that it's not this huge drawdown. This is a very big drawdown to do in basically really one board meeting, and I'm just concerned about that.
Well, are you referencing the money for the building?
Yeah, the building, you have to do the building, the Sophie Wilson, the money for the building, that resolution has to be in for Tuesday, because
Yeah,
we
I thought-
issued the PO.
Correct. I
And
thought the building was done when we first did the resolution.
No, it was never done.
The money put aside. It was like, we've been going on the building now for like 3 years.
It was,
So I
if
would
it
think
was,
the money would have been put to the side
it
for
hasn't
the
been.
building. Otherwise, why would you build a building if you have the money?
Yeah, should have been allocated.
The board agreed upon that, but we never moved it because the project never got started. Your fund is an operating fund, so from year to year, it closes out the fund balance. So we took money out of fund balance and it went back in when we didn't spend it. So all we're doing by that resolution is agreeing to do it again this year, at which point we will spend the money before the end of the year, so it won't get put back into fund balance.
All right, so what I'd be willing to do, having learned all this, if we take out the 95,000 for the 2 mowers and just do the 2 trucks, I would be happy with that, and then buy the mower out of my equipment.
How much does that reduce it to?
It would be 95 or 96 minus from 319,774.
So that would be
And that would be-
219.
And that would take us back up to, be over 25%. So adding another 95,000.
So 220. So we're taking 350, which is roughly 5%, so it'll go down from 33 to about 28%. But it's still
I'd be
$1,000,000.
willing to do that and just,
So it's
Just
$1,300,000,
have to find a used
$1,000,000.
Maybe Sophie Wilson will get pushed out to next year. I don't think so, but Frank has not called for the resolution, but who knows? Maybe Sophie Wilson will get pushed out to next year.
I mean, I can wait on the trailers. I'll just see if I can borrow one from the county or something, if need be, but
All right, then.
the
you
stuff
wanna
is
do that?
old and we actually lost a roller off the trailer, 2 weeks ago. Luckily, nobody got hurt. The thing was just rotted out, so.
You want to do that then? Reduce it by 100,000?
Okay.
We're gonna have
Alright.
to get that pole barn built.
Well, I think there's
Yeah.
Carter Mellons is starting.
His
soon.
equipment's there. We quoted it off. We're just waiting on Jeff to come so we're doing the foundation work to save money. We're doing the drainage to save money. And we're doing something else to save money. So we're just waiting on Jeff to I think they ordered the building. It'll probably be about a month.
Oh, good.
But until then, we can do the foundation and do the flooring,
Okay.
in the meantime. That way, hopefully,
Top of that.
July, August, they can start as soon as the building gets here.
All right.
By law, we should have all our stuff inside. It
just
makes
lasts
the
so
equipment
much
last longer. During the winter time, when it's cold, we bring the trucks in when the guys need to take a break. Everything freezes on the trucks. The trucks don't want to start. We put everything inside, keep them warm, and it just, you save time too by doing that.
All right, so let's do the resolution for the pole barn, let's do the reduced resolution, and the Sophie Wilson one, maybe that one gets pushed out to next year, because Frank hasn't called for it, but I know
That
that.
would be nice. I mean,
I just want to push as much as I can to the following
figure
year.
maybe we bought I was doing a building, maybe you bought it with me on the Sophie thing. I guess that ain't
can't.
happening.
So this resolution, number 1 for 319,774 is getting, Gio, you said it's about $100,000 that you need for the 2
From the
mowers?
319, we're gonna take out the 95,000. What I was gonna do, instead of buying one mower for 75, I was gonna go with the smaller mower and get 2 of them. That way I can get my snow fence done faster while I'm trying to do leaves and get the trucks. But maybe I'll just buy the mower out of my equipment instead of getting a trailer.
Okay.
All right, sounds like a plan.
So Gio, I just have a couple of quick questions. The next resolution is separate from this, right? The one for the $128,000.
Right, that's separate, that's for the sweeper.
Okay, and I don't have this resolution, so can you amend it and send it to the board? Because or send it to me and I'll amend it and
I'll
send it to
have,
the board.
Joe,
Joni, okay.
yeah, just amend it, we'll take the 95.
Okay, you definitely need a street sweeper.
Well, the
Since
ones
that
we
one got
got, we
wrecked.
bought a couple of used ones, they've lasted 5 years. you know, so I just want a spare. He's got a lot of moving parts on these sweepers. And it seems like anytime you're having a big affair, one of them breaks down, so it's always nice to have a spare. We used to only have two, but the way this town's growing and the law is stating you have to sweep at least 3 times a year, it puts it, plus the one being wrecked. So it's always nice to have a backup, so.
Okay.
All right, so
All
we'll
right.
do that. Thank you, Gio.
I'll have Joan send that to you, Bill.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Gio.
All right, so
Thanks,
now we're
Gio.
at Resolution 3. We did Resolution 1 and 2. Resolution 3, Bola Edwards Avenue Realty LLC Lateral Water Main Extension Water Capital Project.
Okay, these are development fees, we're just moving it, right?
That's correct.
Oh, this is, right, this is front on Edwards Avenue.
Yeah, so we're just moving it.
You guys good? Russell, stay, Bill, I'm sure there's gonna be more.
I think that's it for resolution.
Is- All right, for removing fixed assets from record system, pH sensor, touch read gun, projection TV.
Yeah, big shot.
Projection TV, huh?
Big shot.
Okay, 5, appoints police officers to the police department. We discussed this last week. Christopher Penzick, Christy Smith, and Robert T. Sprottson will be appointed to full-time police officers from their part-time
They
positions.
were thrilled.
Oh, yeah, that
They
must have, that's,
really were.
you know, what, that's kind of fun conversation.
Did it make their day, Jim, or
Oh,
what?
did it ever?
Yeah.
We had them rattling in their shoes.
Yeah,
We goofed on
they
it.
came out of,
Coming in for
no,
disciplinary
that
action.
probably came out of left field for them, so.
Oh, it
that's
did?
cool.
Oh, that's.
All right, 6 rather, authorizes town supervisor to file state form TE 9A. What is that?
It's on Edwards Avenue.
We lowering?
We're
Edwards
trying to
Ave-
lower the speed limit.
What is it now, 45?
No, it's 45.
45, okay. Authorizes supervisor to do a form TE 9A. Which one is this one for? Is that the same one?
South Jamesport Avenue.
Okay.
I think it's 40 in some spots.
I really think it is, the map that I have shows it at 30. So I don't know.
This says 30.
I asked Carissa to get the paperwork that the map was made from.
So we may not have to do this?
We may not have to.
All
So
right.
I'll see Carissa again.
Follow up on that.
Okay.
What was that, I'm sorry?
South Jamesport
Huh?
Avenue.
Resolution 7. That 7 was South Jamesport, right?
That's correct.
The only trouble is the guys from the engineering department have been away all week.
No,
And they're
code
due back
school.
tomorrow. So we'll
Uh,
have to wait until tomorrow.
We discussed this one, WS 8, hiring Tricia McEnany.
She accepted, because I know that she had interviewed with Brookhaven also. Yeah, okay.
She
Good.
accepted, okay.
We're much nicer than Brookhaven to work for. We're not so big and impersonal. Make you sit in
They were
waiting
paying
room.
$17,000 a year more, that's why I was surprised.
Don't have our officials under
It
indictment.
wasn't exactly, there was some,
Who's the dispatcher going?
something with.
Accepts resignation of public safety dispatcher. I don't know that he knows where. So he'll be looking for a new dispatcher. I think he's gonna call for the list, see who's on it. Accepts the resignation of Steve Cipher as part-time court officer. Oh, sorry to see you go, Steve. 11, appoints a part-time seasonal crossing guard, Dennis Higgins. I don't know Dennis. Anybody know Dennis?
Nope.
Do not.
That's the chief. Interviewed him. Changes the status 12 of part-time police officers.
These are the ones that just
Seasonal? I
graduated.
Yeah.
thought we did this already.
Oh, and one of the, I thought we did do this one.
Yeah.
I think we did resolution 12 already.
Huh?
We'll check on that.
I think we
Check on
did
that.
12 last board meeting. We do have one part-time police officer that is interested in
this
doing
could be-
code
wait a
work,
minute.
by the way.
This could be the new ones that graduated.
These
No,
are the new ones
I know,
that
but I-
just graduated.
But I thought we changed part-time to seasonal.
I thought we
think we
changed
did it
them
already.
too last
Yeah.
time.
Huh?
I think we did it already.
Yes. Okay.
What were you saying, Sean?
There is one part-time
we
police
changed-
officer, I don't remember his name, but he is interested in doing code enforcement work for us. So that's good news, so they're gonna try to get him trained up to do some of the stuff that he can do.
So what am I doing
Resolution 12, we have to check see if we did it.
with those particular names?
Yeah,
Yes.
with those names, those are the
I'm pretty
newest
sure we
ones.
did. Resolution 13 terminates the employment of a school crossing guard.
I don't know why we're terminated. This was never brought up, was it?
They haven't been to work for a year.
Huh?
They haven't been to work for a year.
Yeah, they haven't
Oh,
worked.
They haven't been here for a year.
They don't work, that's
And they
it.
haven't answered any correspondence or
Oh,
phone
okay.
calls or anything else.
Okay.
They might not even be here anymore.
14, authorization to publish advertisement for food and meat products for 2017.
Eliminate.
You good with food and meat products?
Depends what kind of meat.
That's right. Grade A.
15, authorization to publish advertisement for janitorial supplies. It's nice to follow that right after food.
True.
16, extends contract for police uniforms.
Rosin?
Is that where they usually get them from?
Rosen's,
Yeah,
Balls.
both of them, yeah. Extended for 1 year. We good?
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is.
17, authorize supervisor to execute agreement with National Fire and Safety Solutions, carbon monoxide and security alarm monitoring services.
Mm.
Proprietary alarm system. All right, we good?
Yeah, it's not.
Yep.
Appoints a member.
Resolution 18, appoints member to the Riverhead Veterans Advisory Committee. John, is this you? You're putting Tom,
Yep.
is it Nadjon? Nadzer?
Ah,
You know this guy?
You really
He's
getting
the,
better?
No.
he's the VFW, isn't he? Yes.
But
He's on the board of directors for the VFW.
Oh, I'm asking John, do you know this,
No.
you did this resolution? Or is it-
no, I didn't do it. He was at our last meeting. He is a nice guy,
Okay,
and he's for the veterans, so.
okay. Fine with me, you guys okay? Reappoints member to the town's Veterans Advisory Committee.
Not like there's a big list of people waiting to get in it.
Darlene
Yeah, well,
Folks.
we had one guy, two guys resign because, one guy left the county, and,
Right, you
he's
good
too
with
busy.
Darlene?
Darlene folks.
Yeah,
All right, 20, reappoints member to the Veterans Advisory Committee, Kim Judge, she's very active. Good with Kim?
Yep.
this is Kim Judd, she reappointed her.
Yep. 21,
Great.
reappoints member to the Veterans Advisory Committee, Dorothy Minnick. Good?
Yep.
My God, look at all these veterans. Jesus
Reappoints member to the Veterans Advisory Committee, Mike Pankowski.
Yeah, it's all reappointment now. Nice, but,
Reappoints member Liz Stokes, she's very active. 24, adopts local law amending Chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic and Parking Regulations, Riverhead Town Code, 289-10, Parking Prohibited, Baywood Drive. Jill, did you talk to Gio? I forgot about that. Manor Lane, that stop
I
sign?
called, we're taking care of it.
Baywood Drive parking prohibited, so, we were good with adopting this for the
yeah,
first 300 feet?
300 foot.
Okay.
It's not a private road.
Baywood Drive? No.
No.
25,
Download, it took 20 years. to do
adopts
the second
local
we've
law. I
done.
almost bought my house on Baywood Drive. Then I decided on Lewin Hills. 25, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 2, exactly for the reason you just said. Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic and Parking Regulations,
That's
Town
lowering
Code.
the traffic
This is
fines.
lowering the fines to 40. That's a wonderful thing. 26, approves Chapter 255 application of Native Events Inc. Country Blues Festival of Long Island. Where is this?
That's 4-H camp, right?
Yes.
It's gonna be tremendous.
We good?
Yeah.
I think I got the permit that time.
Yeah.
27, Authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with New York State Parks for a Boston Whaler boat, Yamaha 200 outboards, and boat master trailer for police department use.
This was the boat we had the grant for the,
Is this the Bay Constable or is this Pump Out?
No, this is for the police department.
Bay Constable, Jim.
Okay. He hasn't had a boat in 10 years.
No, the Bay Constable's got that nice Parker. That's
Yeah,
it's
but
in
he
good
just got a
shape.
boat, didn't he?
That Parker's in
Yeah.
good shape.
It's in good shape, but he
4 years ago, didn't we get him a boat
Listen.
5 years ago?
My boat,
No, he had it, no, when I was doing Pump Out, he got the new
Oh,
boat.
that's Pump Out now.
No, he had the new boat.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was over 10 years ago.
my boat's 27 years old. I'm gonna take it on a 300-mile trip.
Well, yours
trek.
is in the driveway all the
You
time.
don't use it 7 days a week.
That's true. 27, oh, we just did that. I guess this is at no cost to us. Has offered the use of the Boston Whaler. Chief did a good job negotiating that, because it was not at no cost the last time. Look, there's- Yeah, for 0 for the term. Yeah, he did a good job, because this wasn't the no-cost one, as I recall. So that's good. 28, authorizes the town supervisor to execute a professional service agreement with Vincent Matus. That's a gentleman sitting back there that's gonna help us with our recording, as a consultant.
Where's he getting the money from?
Larry has like a $2,500 budget in there.
But this is 290 hours at $16 an hour, that's more than 2,500.
$160 a week.
We wanted a cap on it of 2,500.
10 hours per week, maximum cap is 10 hours per week is $160.
Right.
$160.
4640. Oh, was it $5,000?
He has
Larry,
the
how much money did you have in there?
4,500?
Then the resolution needs to be changed.
So then you gotta put the resolution in there, so it's like, we gotta figure out the dollar amount and change it to that. Okay. Oops.
Hey, makes a big difference on TV, saying that.
29, authorized execution of memorandum of understanding with Suffolk Community College. What are we understanding?
Please engage in negotiation from the arts hospital. No idea.
I don't even know what this is.
Missing student plan and agreement.
Oh, yeah.
They want to assist Rivet police officers upon request. This is to have, I guess, to utilize our police department along with their public safety.
Probably because it's an arm of the Suffolk County Police Department. I mean, because they, I don't really know why we're doing this. Jill, can we have Chief talk to me about this? 'Cause I don't think we've ever done this before. It must be a new thing. I can't
Well,
imagine it.
The first whereas pretty much explains what it's all about for violent felony offenses.
It's almost probably like a, what's that law?
Part of their, I guess part of their emergency plan is they have to have an MOU with
Megan's
the
Law?
local jurisdiction.
Something like that.
I don't see it being an issue. I just don't know why. We've never done this before, so maybe it's some requirement they have, so, but we have to have the agreement. All right, we'll find out. We'll leave it in because I don't think it's controversial. 30, authorize the town clerk to publish and post a public notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 entitled Zoning Land Development of the Riverhead Town Code. What is this?
That's for the turtle people?
Oh, the turtle rescue. Okay, good. 31. Authorizes settlement of a lawsuit. What are we settling? Oh, there you go. Sophie Wilson.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Sean, if they're not asking for it, we should.
No, they are asking for it. There's the settlement of the lawsuit, so that resolution's gotta be followed right in there with that.
Yeah.
Is there a resolution up that
We're talking to the daughter, they
condemnation?
buy a house in Florida, they need the money.
That's a joke.
Yeah, here's the,
Beating on that.
I'm glad that you settled at 275. All right, so Sophie Wilson has to be in there.
Okay.
Jill, can you let, did Frank, somebody's got to prepare, Bill walked out, we need the resolution, we have to pull this amount out.
Which?
Sophie Wilson.
He already, Bill said he was going to prepare that.
Yeah, I didn't know we had the settlement in here, so
He already said he was gonna do that in the other one.
that's fine, just, we have to make sure that's in there. 32 extends bid for quick lube maintenance for use for the Riverhead Water District. North Shore Generator Systems. You good with that?
No.
A whole lot of people bidding.
33 extends bid contract for well and pump testing for the Riverhead Water District. Jill, did these extend bids come from, who'd they come from?
Lynn.
All right, they have to, can you just have Anne Marie look at them? Because you can only extend a bid if there's a provision in the bid to allow 1-year extension.
Dick may have approved them, I'll check my emails.
Okay. If he approved them, then I am fine, but. Okay, 34 authorizes Community Development Agency to accept check from Illuminati Aerospace, the reimbursement of expenses related to the survey and new revised subdivision map. So Illuminati gave us a $13,050 check, and that's for the cost of basically redesigning the subdivision.
We might as well deposit it.
Yeah.
When do we get to see the new subdivision map that Anne Marie and,
That's what this is,
no, but when do we get to actually see the map?
when we do this.
Hasn't been
This
paid
is
for
the
yet.
survey.
Well, you've kind of seen it. That was
You've
that
seen it. It's
colored
attached.
that everyone got.
It was attached to the LOI.
Right, but aren't you guys working on the boundaries and
That's
things
what
like that,
this
you
is.
and Anne Marie? Not
This
the
is-
map that we adopted before, but,
No, the one that when you guys were going into contract, it showed you this is the town's retaining, this is what's being sold.
that, like that.
Right, and that's what this is going to give the meets and bounds description, so you have the final subdivision. So I think that's a positive step, that we
That's
have
it.
that. I don't know what that
think
is.
that's it.
I can shut it down now, right?
Because Senator Laval did want an additional 5 acres or 10 acres along the incubator property for a future STEM school possibility. So I know that I had asked Anne Marie and Jill about that. Was that
Give him back the armory.
taken into consideration?
No?
One
back the number.
fast thing, I got a request that I got last night from, the fellows that volunteer for the basketball, that tournament we have every year.
Up the
Right.
violence.
They were going to
Yeah.
change, they want to, do a lot of stuff up there.
Horton
And
Avenue
They
basketball
did have a
courts.
fundraiser, but they're $8,500 short to do what they wanna do. Now, what they wanna do also, at the basketball game, but they wanna get the community together and have things done there all summer long with basketball and just to keep the big kids busy. And I think that is a good idea, and, for $8,500, I think that
I gotta talk to the rec department.
He was supposed to be here today. I talked to Dwayne Ezekiel too. He called me last night and said that they were looking for 8,500 and that Ray was fully on board and supportive and Ray was gonna bring it to us this
Ray
morning.
is fully on board.
And
Now,
they
these are-
what they wanna do is start up a PAL basketball league because there is no basketball league. There's the baseball and there's lacrosse and football, or baseball and football, so they wanted to start
Put
up
on for
a.
work session, so we can get the
PA
proper people here to talk about it.
Ray, I talked to Ray, I didn't mention it, so I'll ask.
So put Ray and see if we can get Dwayne or.
Yeah, Dwayne's the one who called me.
Larry in. Okay, we have one issue, Farm Country Kitchen.
I think we have volunteers who wanna help the kids, I think we should help.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Shipping people all over the
I
place
think it's a
to
good
do,
idea. to be
That
a
court came out
basketball.
so nice last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That really, they did a
But now they
great
wanna
job on
do,
that.
they wanna do the clear basketball
do- yeah.
backdrops, they wanna do,
They have a lot of stuff they wanna do with the basketball court there.
All right.
Buildings
Go
and
into my
Grounds is there
office,
now, actually,
Or you wanna go in the back?
bolting the bleachers
I'm not
in
with,
to a
Nobody
concrete.
likes this office in the back here.
no, there's no problem.
I'll use it though.
Turn down the mic, you don't wanna hear what I'm saying, okay?
No, I
Question, have you gotten, the bus stop moved to Cedar Avenue? Are you still
I
pursuing
think
that,
that,
or?
I thought Larry said that, it wasn't gonna be a problem.
Oh,
They-
oh, it's the bus stop.
Did you tell me that, or
Street,
Larry?
Cedar
It was,
Avenue.
I spoke to,
guess you told me.
legislative